What up, dudes? It's Gaz, and welcome back to another First Descendant video. So, we're going to be doing a critique of some of the things I have problems with in the First Descendant, and we're actually going to be going pretty in-depth on the cash shop. I know a lot of people are still on the fence about trying this game out, and I'm going to show you some of the things that might make you not want to spend your time on this game, because, you know, they're not just all bright sunshines and rainbows. I'm having a good time playing this game, but nothing is perfect, and we'll be going over that today. Some issues I had with the store, and also, yeah, pretty much just a big middle finger, it feels like, from the developers of this game. So let's get right into what we have today, talking about why are they treating this like this, honestly? It feels like we're being actively treated poorly with one of these decisions, so hopefully the devs can change this if enough of this information gets out there. So let's get right into it. But before we do, make sure you're subbed to this channel. We do daily video uploads. We have lots of Warframe videos on the way, and First Descendant videos too. Just because I'm frustrated and pointing these things out, guys, doesn't mean that I don't actually enjoy playing the game, and it's nice to have a new looter shooter that is actually kind of competent in 2024. So let's get right into what we have. Alright, so big problems with the First Descendant are going to be coming from multiple things. One of them is going to be the game design. A lot of the things in the First Descendant definitely feel like they're designed to frustrate you into spending money. When you get to some of the higher level bosses, like the hard mode bosses, it feels like they are tuned to be stupidly tanky in a full squad. To the extent where if you weren't paying money to expand your mod capacity on some of your builds, your gun would feel pretty useless. And I'll go ahead and say right now that yesterday I had a boss fight on hard mode where I had him at 1% health when the timer ran out. And I know if I would have spent money to buy a thing that doubles the mod capacity on or increase the mod capacity of my gun, it would have been dead, no questions asked. So let's go over that first issue, the paying for power monetization that definitely restricts, first off, restricts builds, and also it makes it where you feel like an idiot for not just buying it. It's like, well, if I would have bought this thing, this boss fight would have already been dead. So let's go over what I'm talking about. We're going to talk about the ridiculously egregious price for this specific item, and how it's actually probably one of the biggest issues in the First Descendant. That's going to be the Energy Activator, okay? So we're going to be going back to the city now, so we're back in the city. And now for what we're talking about now, the item that is in question, I've already used one of them. It's called Energy Activator. If you've ever played Warframe, it's very similar to a catalyst or a reactor. You can increase the mod capacity of your character by using this thing, and they are very, very, very hard to obtain. We're talking you need to be literally at the most end game of missions to even think about farming these resources. And when you do farm these resources, the items they come from, the highest drop rate I saw is a 6% drop rate. Let's see if I have any relics for that. It doesn't look like I have a relic for it, but yeah, basically these Steel Path relics are going to have up to a 6% drop rate for this thing we're talking about here. And you can actually check all the items in this game by going to Access Info. So this part's really nice right here. But yeah, these Steel Path relics, Energy Activator Blueprint, 6%. I believe you can enhance it if you have the proper shaping material, but those are 0.1% drop rate. So you're looking at a 6% drop rate for the blueprint for this. And once you obtain the blueprint for this, you get to go and grind out a bunch of resources. And funny thing too is one of the resources actually has a character that's kind of pay to win to get it in the first place. But we'll talk about that in a second. So we're trying to build the Energy Activator here. So this is the thing in question. 6% drop rate at the highest drop rate in the game that I'm aware of for the blueprint. And then the resources, you have to grind a bunch of high-level mobs to get these resources just to build one of them. And it takes 1 day, 6 hours to craft this. And this thing right here is the thing that is definitely questionable for sure. These encrypted vaults. But yeah, so a ton of resources, a lot of grinding to even get this in the first place. These relics don't come easily most of the time. So yeah, that thing right there. Okay, look, so it sounds like it might be kind of hard to farm it, huh? Definitely not easy to farm it. Okay, let's say I wanted to just buy that to increase the mod capacity in either my character or my gun. How would I go about doing that? Well, you would be having to drop 1,200 caliber on this. 1,200 caliber, if you play Warframe, is 1,200 plat. How much is 1,200 caliber? Well, because of the monetization pricing of this game, they've decided to go for the worst route possible. So, remember, we need 1,200 caliber. Well, the $20 caliber bundle only gives you 1060, so that's not going to work. We have to go from $20 to $50 to buy one 1,200 caliber catalyst. So they're about $25 each-ish. So yes, unlike in, I'm going to go ahead and compare it to Warframe. Unlike in Warframe, where it's 20 platinum, so under $5 for a catalyst, In this game, they're literally 5 times the price. So that's a big red flag right there, in my opinion. They are taking DE's Warframe ideas they've had in the game for like 10 years. They're taking it out. They're taking Catalyst and Reactors on a Warframe, and they're charging you 10 times the price for it. And they're also making it where it's, you know, it's technically farmable in game, but the farm is so bad that you're gonna feel like a moron halfway through it that you didn't just outright buy it. Now, same thing goes for Descendants too. These Descendants, let's see, like, so for, I have personal experience with this one here, Valby. I farmed her for about 7 hours the other day because one part just wouldn't drop. It said 20% drop chance, didn't work. Okay, so I spent 7 hours grinding out one character. How much would that have costed me to buy that one character for 700 plat? About 20 bucks. So I could have saved 7 hours of farming for 20 bucks. So they're making the drop rates in this game just bad enough that it feels like discouraging, but also high enough where it's like, you know, if I bought this, it would be dumb. It's going to drop the next chance or next run. So a lot of it in this game is designed to make it where it's like, it's just bad enough that you're thinking about buying it, but maybe you won't buy it. Because that's what happened with me. I finally got the Valby part to drop, but I was about to buy her at certain points. And that's probably by design at this point. So, yes, also the more tanky bosses, these energy activator things give you more mod capacity on guns. So if you look right now, this is the most you're going to get out of a non... Like if I don't drop 20 bucks on this gun or go farm energy activator that takes a really long time, the most I get out of this gun is 50 mod capacity because you get more mod capacity as you rank up in mastery rank, and then you get more mod capacity with the level 40 of proficiency gun, like this one is right now. So I have 50 out of 50 mod drain on here. This is pretty much as much mod capacity as I can get out of here without spending money. So you are limited in power by how much money you spend. People who spend money on these guns and stuff, they will be dealing more damage to you, and they will be they'll be having an easier time going through the game, period. And I'm not just talking, you know, drop like 50 bucks. I'm talking like dropping multiple $100 in this game to be on those kinds of power levels. Additionally, I actually did spend money on this game, but you want to see a big middle finger from the devs? This is what I was talking about at the beginning of the video. Okay. So there's these Ultimate Descendant bundles. There's the 5,000 caliber one and the 3,000 caliber one. The 5,000 caliber bundles have like some cosmetics in them. They're exclusive to the bundle. Now, I'm going to go ahead and say it right now. These cosmetics are underwhelming at best. These cosmetics have basically nothing to do with the character, and they are being marketed as prime cosmetics. The rocket ship cosmetic. How can we live without the rocket ship cosmetic that clips through my character's hair? This is being marketed as prime accessories, okay? I know that not everyone plays Warframe, but I'm saying that a lot of these ideas are straight up inspired by Warframe. So when I see these things, I see they're trying to like do prime access, but with like the worst. This is Garuda prime access, one of the ones I bought in Warframe. So we have a blood spike themed armor set and a blood spike themed ephemera, like, you know, idle animation thing. And you get 2 guns, and you get a frame, and you get all these profile icons. Guys, in the first Descendant, you know that $20 Catalyst thing I was telling you about? If you buy this character, it does not come installed with a Catalyst. They give you a Catalyst in the bundle if you buy the biggest bundle. You have to choose to install this Catalyst on the frame you bought for like 80 bucks. You don't even, this is like such terrible value because, well, first off, you're spending like 80 bucks for a character in the first place. But look at this. Since I bought the Ultimate Glaive bundle, the non like 5,000 plat one or 5,000 caliber one, look what happens. So I bought the smaller one because I didn't want the ugly cosmetics. If I ever wanted to upgrade it to the big bundle, they charge you a 50 plat idiot tax. So if you look at this math right now. So the 3,000 caliber bundle I bought, which didn't have the ugly cosmetics or the energy activators or whatever in it, and that was 3,000 plat. Okay, 3,000 plat, all well and good. That's how much it costs. I choose to support the game because I thought the story was actually, the campaign was pretty decent. If I chose to upgrade this, look what happens. So if I'm going from 3,000 to 5,000, it's going to be 2,000, right? No, it's 2,050. They charge you 50 extra plat because you didn't buy it in the first place, in case you want to upgrade it. This is crazy. This is literally the most blatant thing I can see. Actually, I take it back. I got one more blatant one for you. But yeah, this is very blatant. 50 plat idiot tax. By the way, 50 plat, you cannot earn plat in this game. It's only purchasable. They might eventually add it, but that's like a $5 idiot tax thrown in there at the end if you want to upgrade it. That is freaking crazy, man. All right, let's go ahead and show some other things that are pretty blatant in this game. Let's start with the Battle Pass, actually. So, the Battle Pass, I think, is just there. It's just there to say that they had one. You look at the top, or the first couple ranks on this thing, you got a free double precision phase exchange. This basically lets you infuse weapons levels up. But you start looking at some of these higher ranks. These battle pass, some of these battle pass things are terrible. There should be an energy activator in the battle pass, but there's not. You have things like a squirrel keychain and a singular precision phase exchanger. Guys, they value this stupidly high for some reason, and we'll talk about that in a second here. Some of these things are just really not that exciting for you buying this with money. Yeah, a squirrel keychain. Why is this not a reactor? Here we go again emo. That's not that bad, but like there should be things in here that will make it where it's like, okay, because we're buying this and we're grinding it out, and they can't even give us a single reactor for even level 100. So this is crazy to me. This is a very, very bad pass. Look at this level. Why is there a level 94 singular precision phase exchanger on the non-free path? Buying this battle pass feels terrible, and that precision phase exchanger, they are charging exorbitant prices for that. Let's take a look at it real quick. So, support material. Okay, if you want to buy one precision phase exchanger, guess how much that costs? 75 caliber. That is going to be about $5. Guess how long those take to craft, guys? The thing they want $5 for. It takes, let's see, what's the quickest one? I can craft one of them in 10 minutes. I can craft one of them in 2 minutes and 30 seconds. I think I'm going to do that right now just to prove a point. I can literally craft this thing they want $5 for in 2 minutes 30 seconds. And I'm not even doing the most efficient way. You can build like 10 of them at a time. I just don't have that much gold right now. So there are some really, really, really dumb prices in here. And I can only hope that no one has ever pushed this button ever. I can only hope that no one has ever pushed this button right here, because this is highway robbery. $5 for a thing that takes 2 minutes to build. It is not, the requirements to build it are extremely, extremely basic. $25 to buy one of these. This takes about 2 minutes as well. So crazy prices in here. This thing right here, crystallization catalyst, it's just like a Forma in Warframe. It's like 300 plat as well, which is about like what we say, like $8 or something. So like $6, $8 ridiculous prices on this stuff. Warframe, I'm just saying, this game is taking Warframe's ideas after 10 years in and just charging you 10 times for it. It's kind of crazy that this is even like flying right now. Now I'm having a good time, like I said. I don't think that you should stop having a good time because of these things, but there are so many layers of BS to this game that it's hard to ignore it entirely. Now, let's talk about Void Fusion Reactors and how they have designed a system to be as annoying as possible, so you feel like I felt obligated to buy stuff, honestly, because it was just so stupidly confusing. Okay, so let's say we want to open a relic in this game. There's these things called amorphous materials. They drop from missions and I think from just general stuff in the open world. These are basically relics from Warframe. You do the mission that's associated with this. You open it up, and it will give you one of the things in this. Now, unlike Warframe, there are not team-wide drops. It is individual drops, and you cannot choose your teammates' loot. Okay, so it's really, really annoying. But yeah, how would you open a relic? Let's say, so for this one, you gotta go kill the Hangman boss fight. I did a boss fight guide in the Hangman yesterday or 2 days ago, so that one's pretty straightforward. How about one that's not from a boss fight? Okay, here we go. This one right here, the Amorphous Material 26. How do we open this? We go to the Agna Desert, normal mode, Fusion Void Reactor, Agna Desert Vermilion Waste, okay? Hopefully you read that very, very carefully, because if you go to the wrong place, you really, really waste your time. Okay, so Agna Desert, Void Fusion Reactor, blah, 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 blah. Let's go take a look at where that is. Okay, Agna Desert, Void Fusion Reactor. Okay, so like this one's called Void Fusion Reactor. It's the wrong one, though. So if you were to go to this one and try to open up your relic, you would waste all your time. But you also keep in mind, too, we're on the steel path right now. This will not work on the steel path. This only works on the normal path. So we have to switch off the steel path, or the hard mode, to the normal path. So do you still remember what it was? It was Vermilion Waste, right? So we go over here, and let's say we want to open our relic. Okay, so this one takes organic void shards and inorganic void shards to open up the relic. Okay, so we need 12 organic void shards and 3 inorganic void shards. How do we get those? We go to other void reactors, and we farm them, basically. So this one right here, thankfully, this one's electric. We got in luck here. So what does this one drop? This one drops organic and inorganic void reactors. We lucked out. We have an electric one right there. Now, the thing about these, you must have the elemental ability type that these elements are telling you to have. So for this one, electric, you must be playing as Bunny or whoever else is electric, like Sharon or whatever. If you try to do these missions without the frame that is that element, you get basically no loot. So they are incentivizing you to have every frame in the game just to farm. And if you are not buying everything in this game, you are basically locked out of doing certain things in this game. So, for example, that one's electric. They give you Bunny in the story for free, thankfully. Let's try this one over here. Okay, this one is going to be... what element is this? Non-attribute. Okay, so here we go. Non-attribute. If you don't have a non-attribute character, Well, this one drops all 4, thankfully. But yeah, if you don't have a non-attribute character, you can't farm this properly. But look at this right here. Polymer Void Shards, Inorganic Void Shards, Monomer Void Shards, and Organic Void Shards. This drops 4 different types of Void Shards. You need 4 different types of Void Shards to open these relics no matter where you are in certain spots. So like this one, for example, you need Monomer and Polymer. If we didn't have a non-attribute frame, that would not work over here, obviously, because we're only getting Organic and Inorganic. So we could not open a relic over here. We would have to go find another planet or another area, like maybe over here, to farm that. Now, we're really in luck today that these are dropping with electric, but I believe they do rotate. So if for example, if I didn't have a fire frame, or I didn't have if I didn't have a fire frame, I couldn't do this. I wouldn't get anything out of doing this. It would be a waste of my time. So this system is designed to be frustrating. You must have the elemental attribute equipped that this is dependent on, or you get none of the void shards out of it, but you need a lot of them too. By the way, you have to do each of these like 3-4 times to open 1 relic, okay? So you're doing like 8 missions to open 1 relic, and in the end, you might have actually gone, do you remember which void reactor we were going for? Because it only works on the singular void reactor it rented off from. If you take that relic to a I think it was this one exactly. So if we took that reactor to any reactor besides this one, we would waste all of our void shards that we spent on it, and we would not get to open a relic either. So it's really, really particular, really, really, you must know what you're doing or you're wasting your time here a lot, and it's a lot of grinding to open up 1 relic. So I think that every relic in this game should not be, every relic should have a boss fight location. There should not be stuff like this where it's like, go to the Agna Desert Void Vermilion Reactor. That is terrible because it takes like 8 times as long, it feels like, than a boss fight. A lot of these do drop from boss fights, but also a lot of them do drop, or a lot of them are opened up in those Void Fusion Reactors too. The Void Fusion Reactor system in general feels half-baked and overly complicated just for the purpose of wasting our time, making us frustrated. So that's nothing. Now let's talk about one of the other characters that I have a problem with. And honestly, guys, I think that Nexon should go back and like give anyone that bought the Prime Access bundles like some more compensation. Like give them an extra reactor, give them an extra catalyst or whatever. If you bought those 5,000 plat bundles or the 3,000 plat bundles, you deserve more for your money because honestly, in Warframe, dude, we get 90-day XP boosters for buying this. All you get for this is a frame, a skin, and a singular weapon slot, a singular frame slot. No reactor installed. This is crazy, honestly. Warframe gives you so much more value, and also Warframe's been around for 11 years. This game's been out for like 11 days, okay? But yeah, as I was saying, there is a character in here that I personally have an issue with. I'm sure some people don't have an issue with because they're using it constantly. But this guy right here, this character Enzo, so get a load of this. This guy has an ability that gives you 10 times loot in one of the missions, okay? So what people are doing right now is they're doing farms with this guy. His ability gives you increased loot from an encrypted vault. And I've heard it's like 10 times encrypted loot vault loot. So if you don't have this guy, you're a loser basically. You're farming normal missions. You're playing the game by killing enemies. This guy is getting 10 times the loot you are, and he's also getting the resources for building reactors and Forma, from what I understand. So yeah, it would be like, what if in Warframe, Ivara's ability was to give you 3 times loot from Spy Vaults? So don't you think everyone will be playing Ivara only in Spy Vaults? Pretty much. That's what's pretty much happened with this guy. He's the only character you're allowed to play for encrypted vault farming because he gives you so much more loot. So that's just blatantly pay to win in my eyes. It's not like in Warframe where like Necros Prime gives you 10 times loot. Necros Prime is very easy to farm. I've heard this guy sucks to farm. And, Necros Prime only gives you loot 52% of the time. This guy gives you 10 times loot every time. It's pretty ridiculous. So, Enzo, the fact this character even exists in the way he does is ridiculous to me. His other abilities sound pretty fun, like an ammo supply thing and all that. But yeah, 10 times loot from Spy Vaults? What the heck, man? So yeah, moving on to a couple other things here at the end. I do really think that these things adding up. This is a live service game, guys, okay? So they're going to have this battle pass. It will end in like 2 months or whatever. We want to do another battle pass. It will be just as bad as this one. I think that they could, right now, realize this battle pass sucks, upgrade it in value. I want to support the developers of this game, even though, like, it's a big company and all that. I want to show my support for this game, but it's hard to when the things like this. I don't feel like I'm being appreciated as a customer, honestly. I feel like after I bought that Prime Access that had no catalyst on the character or no energy activator on the character, I'm like, why not? I gave you $80. Why can't is $80 not enough for a catalyst? Apparently not. Yeah, I literally bought like so it was a 3,000 plat. I think I bought this one. I bought $70 worth of currency. I got one character with no. I had to use the catalyst they give you free from the story to put it on there. Straight up poverty mode, and if anyone that just is buying reactors and Formas constantly has maxed out builds, basically. Don't even try to talk to me about guns. If you want to put a reactor on every gun in this game, $20 here, $20 here, $20 here, you know, $20 on all this stuff. It's, you know, hundreds and hundreds of dollars. So once we get to the point where we can farm energy activators a little bit more freely, maybe it will be a little bit different. But I mean, I'm looking at a 6% drop rate either way, guys. Is a 6% drop rate going to realistically actually be you getting those regularly? I'd say no. 6% drop rate is basically, you know, basically 5% drop rate, so very, very low. You'll be getting those 1 in 20 relics if you're lucky. And again, farming the relics in the first place could take you a while, so yeah. There's definitely more. I could be talking about this for hours, but I think that we should probably cut it off here pretty soon. There's definitely a lot of stuff here. Oh, you know what? I didn't talk about one of my biggest problems, actually. No. One more thing. You know how I said I spent $80 in this game? I still feel like a poor person. Why is that? Because you cannot color customize things in this game freely. They took Bungie's old idea of single-use color palettes from like 2018 and said, no, dude. That sandwich still got some meat on it. I'll eat that 4-year-old moldy sandwich. They have single-use color palettes in this game. So, for example, if I used pink on this character, that pink would be used up. It could not be used on other characters. So, it is extremely restrictive on how much customization you can do. As far as I'm aware, there is no way to really grind out multiple colors in game. You can get like a couple here and there with the achievements, like the journal thing and all that. You actually just remind me too. I have a really fun thing to show you guys in the journal of this game. But you can farm out colors in the journal, but it's a single time use and it's pretty bad feeling. Okay, so you got this far in the video, and I really appreciate you getting this far in the video. Here's what the devs think of you playing their game and engaging with their systems. Okay, so you are going to be putting reactors on these things. You're going to be, you know, leveling things up. Here's what the devs think of you putting all this time into this. Module enthusiast. Assign 20 module socket types. Basically, install 20 Forma. What title do you get for installing 20 Forma? According to the devs, you are an idiot. You put on 20 Forma. You spent what, like $120 on Forma? You are an idiot. The devs are literally calling you an idiot for engaging with the system because it's so bad. So that's all I need to say here, guys. Hope you found this video fun and helpful. There's more to say for sure. Let me know how you feel about the first one in the comments down below. I will not be streaming tonight. I'll be back tomorrow on stream, and I really appreciate your support. I'm still enjoying the game. I'm still going to play the game, but these things need to be pointed out for sure, and hopefully the devs can change it in the future so we can have this game with a bright future and not a murky future of, well, you better not nerf anything because we're giving you a lot of money, so don't F it up. All right, guys, take it easy. Peace.